If you had enough money to build your dream house, what's a strange room or feature you'd include? An indoor swimming pool in the underground floor with a sink screen on all four sides and normal, plus, underwater sound system. I love swimming. I love watching movies and series, dash. Imagine watching Jaws in a pool. I definitely install an observatory on top of a spire. This is 100% what I do. My house would be located far away, in a dark sky region. Have all of the lights in the house be smart lights, so I can turn them all off with a single click. This is my plan. I'm going to custom build an enormous telescope for it. So you aspire to be a spear in a spire? I want a hobbit pantry. Earthy, timber stone decor that is climate controlled to be a perfect storage area for wheels of cheese, sausage links and beer. Oh good gods, yes. Just give me a human-sized hobbit house for F's sake. No, you get a hobbit-sized human house. The worst of both worlds. It's not that strange, but I think an irrationally large number of decisions in my life have been motivated by the desire to eventually have a study with high ceilings and floor-to-ceiling bookshelves so I can have one of those ladder things that sits against the shelf and have it be justified. I would add an octopus tank, but I think they live like 2 years tops and having to bury a pet biennially seems depressing. Edit. People keep suggesting I eat the octopuses. I'm not going to eat my pets too. As a former fishmonger, please do not eat seafood that has died of old age. Not going to taste good. One of those ladder things that sits against the shelf and have it be justified. Just said the same thing in my comment. I think I just get on it and will myself around. I'll need a secret room behind one of the bookcases that leads to a second library. That is where all my favorite first editions and fine bindings will be. There will also be a nice wingback chair and a side table with a bottle of something to sip on while I read. I may also need a guillotine for those who decide it is okay to bother me in my private library. Guillotine wouldn't be enough, I'd feed them to the octopus. Which explains the need for an octopus tank. Win-win. I'll need a secret room behind one of the bookcases. I want a farting parlor. I want a room to toot. I want a chamber just for me to huff my bottom fruit. I want a suite for farts to thrive, a swill to fill the nose. And when I feel the urge arrive, I want it just for those. I want a space to call my own, a place for sweet release, and when I'm there, I'll stand alone, and sniff the whiff in peace. To breathe aromas heinous, to plant the colon seed, a parlor of the anus, is all I really need. Instead of an octopus tank, get yourself a big S-globe. It would fit right in with the rest of your study. No idea what people even use those big S-globes for, but you might as well have one, right? They are often hollow and can be opened, with enough room for a bottle of scotch and a few glasses. Cephalopods don't make good pets, unfortunately. The higher intelligence an animal has, the greater it relies on its owner for stimulation, and many cephalopods are comparable to birds in that respect. People often underestimate how much attention parrots and cockatoos need from their owners, and it's much easier to interact with them than it is with an octopus. The higher intelligence an animal has, the greater it relies on its owner for stimulation, and many cephalopods are comparable to birds in that respect. People often underestimate how much attention parrots and cockatoos need from their owners, and it's much easier to interact with them than it is with an octopus. I have nothing interesting to add to this, other than that we went hiking one day when a guy on a bike came at us from the opposite direction at a relatively high rate of speed. He had a parrot sitting on his handlebars. The parrot looked like he was having a good time. How do you stimulate an octopus? Give it 10 tickles. Crossword puzzles. A sensory deprivation room, with built-in float tank, steam shower, cool rain shower. Yeah. The best naps I've ever had were in a float tank. Being able to do that at home would be amazing. I've done a few sensory depth floats, and loved it each time. First time I tried it was truly a day of experimentation. Earlier that day, I consumed an Oreo cookie milkshake with cricket flour added. Pretty tasty. I need more people with this kind of energy in my life. A moat. No one has a moat anymore. Do you not want to talk to people? Pull up the drawbridge. And in the winter you have your own personal skating rink. 100% would turn into a lazy river in the summer. This person gets it. Except standing water makes for excellent mosquito breeding grounds. I want a moat, but I also don't want to pay for it in blood. Thus the lazy river keeps the water moving. Weird how a moving stream is lazier than still water. It is lazier, you have to paddle in still water to move, dash. That's why you should buy your water a chair. A moat would be fun. It also helps keeping the Black Knight at bay. And the SWAT team for kidnapping the chief's daughter. I really want one of those natural bathrooms that looks like you just walked into a jungle, everything is stone and steam and plants and sounds of a waterfall. Or one of those open staircases where the back wall is completely glass and there's a leafy garden under the stairs. Basically just a tropical oasis for plants. I once stayed at a hotel with river stone tiles on the shower floor and it was glorious. So I share your dream about those kinds of bathrooms. How do you clean that? You pay someone else to do it. I was going to say, my dream house definitely includes someone to clean it for me, laughing out loud. I used a pressure washer in my shower one time. It's just tile, and I used a low-power washer with the low-flow nozzle, but it worked really, really well. If I ever redecorate a bathroom, I'll definitely do it in a way where you can just pressure wash the entire thing. I'm so glad I'm not the only one who's tried that. My biggest problem was mist going everywhere, which quickly drenched my whole bathroom. I think I need to block off the shower with a tarp next time. Also, I accidentally blasted off part of the ceiling spackle in the corner, but it was just covering up mildew anyway. I'm never getting back my deposit. My wife is from the jungle. So we have tried to recreate an environment that is best suited to live in. Having so much green in the house is nice. The insects they come with, not so nice. There is so many gnats that have flown up my nose, they now fly out of my nose at dusk like bats. Slides. Slides all over the house to get you from any room down to the living room or den. Edit, this really blew up, huh? The most common comment was that for those of us who would like to have a house full of slides, we should visit, so that's probably something I'll do. Web link. We got a VRBO once with a slide, which the kids loved until we noticed the connections between slide segments were ripping the seats of their pants. Worst meltdown ever. I don't know how it only happened to me, but I went to the water slides with a bunch of friends and one of the slides we went on effed my back up. I wasn't bleeding thankfully, but the ridges of the slide cut into the back of my shoulders that were against the slide, so I had nice cut marks on my back that just didn't break the skin. Hurt quite a bit. My wife finally convinced me to ride the water slide at our local water park. She worked there the last summer and knew the maintenance guys. They worked hard and were proud of the safety record, so she finally convinced my fat ass to ride the slide. Did you know that if you are fat, you go faster downhill? Who knew? Anyway, I hit the high-speed turn at really high speed. This has me riding the top edge of the slide, you know, the part that curves over to keep you from flying out, to the point that when I came out of the turn and there was no longer a top edge, I was no longer on the slide. Thankfully I landed face down on the slide thanks to momentum carrying me over in an arch across the slide, but landing face first and breaking my nose was not fun. Got flipped over just before I hit the outlet pool, but I was moving so fast I skimmed over the surface and hit the end of the pool with my knees before I could stand up and stop myself. So I stood there, nose pouring blood, bruising already showing on my knees and shoulders from the hits. I later learned I also had an awesome red burn rash down my back from the plastic slide and stood staring at my wife, who was laughing her ass off while everyone else was worried. She yells out, "What? Never seen a man get beat up by a slide before." I love that woman. She brought me a funnel cake and a kiss to apologize. Life pro tip: if you are tall and fat, and shaped like a pear, don't ride water slides. I haven't been on a water slide since. Life pro tip: if you are tall and fat, and shaped like a pear, don't ride water slides. Rookie mistake. Everyone know pears are built for ultimate speed. Makes me think of what happened at Action Park. Warning, gross. Somewhat gory, the owner of the park designed ridiculous attractions, one of them being a giant water slide with a loop. The slide was a giant tube, so it was completely enclosed. The teens who worked at the park were given money to test out the new slide, and they kept bumping their heads on the loop hard. So the owner of the park put some padding in to soften the blow. After the next few workers tested it out, they started noticing that people were coming out with cuts on their bodies. That wasn't happening before, so they took apart some pieces of the slide to see what was cutting people. Stuck inside the padding at the loop were the teeth of the people who had previously gotten on the ride. They were being cut by the teeth there. Anyway, I hope there weren't any teeth in your water slide. Edit. There's a documentary on HBO Max called Class Action Park that details this event and a bunch of other bullcrap that happened at that park. I thought this was going to be about that water slide that decapitated a kid. It's a suitable for work video that explains what and how it happened. There are pictures of the blood, though. YouTube link. Wow, that was heartbreaking. There's some sort of sad, twisted irony that the boy was the son of a state representative in a state where there was little legislative oversight for comprehensive safety regulations. Not that it is deserved, just an observation. That poor family. A trapdoor at the entrance that drops you into the ball pit. What's the password? I love ball pits. You may enter. Really? My password would be I love balls. Pull the lever, cronk right lever. An indoor swimming pool, with a lazy river. I love swimming, but I effing hate public pools. I have a recurring dream where I have a house with a lazy river in it. I love those dreams. I'm a member of a YMCA with an indoor pool and lazy river. It's awesome. Is it fun to stay at the YMCA? Young man? Yes. I said young man. Professional kitchen. Hoods, stainless steel everything, floors on a 1-degree slant and one whole wall is a drain, the works. A friend of mine has something similar to this, except the whole room slants toward the island where the drain is located in the tiled toe kick. He can soak his floor and mop everything into the drain, hit a button to have whatever was in there chewed up via some sort of mulcher. If you didn't know it was there, it just looks like a nice kitchen with some professional appliances. The floor drain has a disposal? That's a damn good idea. Until it breaks. Depending on how it's installed, it can be a hefty repair bill. Sometimes it's effectively a remodel. My father built our house with wall panels, passages and false ceilings, not the crappy kind found in offices, for exactly that reason. Most of the electrical and plumbing was accessible anywhere in the house without having to tear anything out. Of course, after he passed away, we had a pipe burst in the one damn place he didn't include an access panel, under the bathtub. Maybe it was him reminding you one more time to put an access panel everywhere. And that's why you always have an access panel. Man who just lost his arm? Plumber here. I've built plenty of professional kitchens and bathrooms with this feature. It takes some planning but definitely not undoable. Had a client a little while back that wanted her shower open air in the middle of the bathroom. Solution to that is make the whole room waterproof. Turned out pretty sweet. Other than that, most professional kitchens are built standard to be hosed down floor to ceiling. Wanted her shower open air in the middle of the bathroom sounds cold AF. We installed whole room steam units that brought the temp way up to solve that issue. Normally I would advise against large area showers unless you've got the change to heat up the whole room every time you take a shower. I had a kitchen that was completely tiled once, including the ceiling. I kept wondering why they hadn't just gone one more step and put a drain in the floor. Could have just hosed that thing down. A bedroom. A room that is just a giant bed, second or third story of the house, surrounded by windows with a glass ceiling, skylights. I used to want a glass ceiling, but then I realized it would be a bitch to clean any time there was pollen or bird poop. If you have infinite money, there's got to be some way you could add some sort of cleaning system on the glass. Maybe just a big windshield wiper with some cleaning solution, lol. I'm thoroughly enjoying the image of a gigantic windshield wiper on my bedroom ceiling. What about a thin, constant, high-pressure layer of water that is invisible, because the flow rate is perfect? It would just wash away bird poop immediately and pollen and dust wouldn't be an issue. Or just hire someone to clean it, but I like your idea better. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.